Welcome Aquarius, thank you for joining me just in time for your Aquarius February 2022 reading and predictions. And it's great to see you. The readings here are different, good, and many of you Aquarians have asked me whether or not I do personal one-on-one clairvoyant readings, and the answer is yes, as some of you Aquarians already know. So just check out the information that's in the description box below, and you can see how easy it is for that to happen from wherever you may be in the world. Anyway, my beloved Aquarius, let's pull some cards for you and we'll see what is going to be in store for February, Valentine's Day month. I hope you've got somebody that you'll be able to forget yourself with in their company. And that's the thing. And if you don't, well, get a bottle of champagne or a nice cup of special tea or coffee, if you'd like to do that, and just enjoy yourself, put on a good film, and or listen to the radio and see what there is. I'm sure people still listen to the radio. Actually, I haven't listened to the radio for a long, long time now. There's Judgment. This is what? The Wheel of Fortune, and that's interesting. Do you know, these cards, frankly, they strike me as the type of things that, you know, you'd see on an art gallery wall. Three of Swords, beautiful image there. The artist has obviously spent a lot of time putting these together, and profitably so. Seven of Pentacles, because it really is a job well done, I've got to say, a job well done, as you will see in just a second. And there's the Nine of Swords. Well, see, that's another fantastic looking card. And the other interesting thing about that Nine of Swords and the Three of Swords, well, I'm not going to give anything away, but it's good news. Anyway, why don't you come down with me, sit down here, nice and close. We'll have a close look at the cards together while I do the reading especially for you. I think there might be a moment when you feel a bit miserable about a couple of things that have happened in your past, but you overcome them, and you have a great turn in good luck and ultimately great success with you during this month as well. But we don't make light of the more difficult energies if they are simmering underneath the surface. Not at all. You and I, we deal with them head on. We name them and we regain our power over the things, don't we? Well, here is the Nine of Swords. A woman wakes up in the middle of the night. A nightmare has turned her room into a dark and frightening place. She is shaken from fear and worries. 9 pairs of eyes are watching her and won't let her rest. They symbolize the woman's anxiety and depression. The Nine of Swords enters late at night when you are feeling most vulnerable. Guilt, worry, anxiety, sorrow, and suffering can torture you, leaving you alone, locked in your personal prison where isolation and loneliness seem to prevail. These are things to do with, I think, things that have gone in your past. Your inner demons haunt you with fear and doubt, causing emotional pain and anguish. The Nine of Swords is the epitome of the dark night of the soul. But the key to the Nine of Swords is to recognize, confront, and work through your pain. Now, be that by way of meditation or spiritual guidance or counseling or even just prayer, which is free, you need to shift this energy so the painful situation can pass. The gift of this Nine of Swords is the realization that you are not alone, but you are connected to the greater whole. You are a soldier of the light and need to forever follow that loving light with every thought you make and every action you take. Now, in some sense, it might be thought that you've created your personal dungeon. All the negative actions or thoughts you have suppressed and avoided might be coming back full circle to haunt you. These thought patterns and actions have imprisoned you in a web of circumstances where it seems impossible to free yourself. But you are being freed during this month. Your mind, the ego, may be being tortured with no apparent escape. Now, your first instinct might be to blame others or circumstances for your situation, but hiding behind that dark shield won't work anymore. Spirit has brought you to your knees to face your personal demons, putting you back on the path of love and light. It is time now to confront these dark places and demons. Neutralize them by shifting your focus from negative thinking to a higher consciousness. The Nine of Swords symbolizes any circumstances that troubles your heart and mind, signaling a time of retreating from the outer world as you process worry, grief perhaps, or loss. It's time for releasing pain and cleansing the soul and heart so that healing can occur. The lost part in your heart can never be filled, but with time, if you allow yourself to be in the light of love, you will grow a new heart. Now, connected to this energy is this energy here. Incidentally, I might say that the energy here is being pushed out by this major arcana along this direction and this major arcana this direction. So these things that I speak of now are actually going to maybe only temporarily confront you. But the words that I offer you, you should take them to heart so that you can grow a new heart. But here in the three arrows are hitting a man in the middle of his heart. His heart is represented by a large red rose that stands for the man's love and passion. The arrows, which represent painful wounds or deeds, have hurt his feelings. His eyes are closed and streams of tears are running down his face. The attack seems to have happened unexpectedly because the man wears no protection and his gesture is welcoming rather than defensive. Yes, again, I think that this card is reiterating that there may well be some painful memories that are being held in the mind and heart, which need to be looked at, accepted, processed, and let go so that you can heal. The Three of Swords encourages you to empty the sadness of your heart. The pain of losing something special is an individual experience that each person processes differently. Now, there are stages of grieving, as you will know, they being denial, anger, guilt, vulnerability, loneliness, and depression. The ultimate goal is to take back your personal power and gain the strength back to begin to live your life at a renewed level. Understanding and wisdom come. As one door closes, another door opens. Now, the Three of Swords silver lining, I think, in this spread and where it is positioned with these two major arcana here for it, the silver lining here is that it cleanses your mind and heart from the heaviness of life's pain. It brings truth and clarity to situations, relationships, or issues that have been in denial. It changes the focus off old emotional wounds and defeating thoughts to the present. Cleansing is not an easy process, I suppose, but the rewards are many. Cleansing gives you a sense of lightness and strength. The cleanse of the Three of Swords detoxes and rejuvenates your spirit so a new identity and perspective can emerge. Now, the Three of Swords can indicate a breakup in a relationship, I suppose, or a friendship or a business partnership. Now, you may discover a disappointing and painful truth about somebody or about something. It can indicate an issue involving three people or three situations that is causing distress. It can signal betrayal and being let down, as well as sudden and unexpected changes and loss. You get the picture. When the Three of Swords enters, brace yourself for some tears. Tears are a form of cleansing. And when you cry, cry all of your tears. Because when you have cried your last tear, you begin the process of healing. Now, this woman up here is crying out. She says she has something to say. Judgment. Okay. Let's have a look at you. Well, you're an interesting looking Judgment lady, are you not? Well, I think that this image here shows a female angel, a messenger of God. Do you know, it is a messenger of God, angel, because angel is the Greek word angelos, or angelos, which means messenger, and it's a translation of the Hebrew malach, which was in the Old Testament, meaning an angel or a messenger of God. And she's blowing a large golden trumpet. Now, she's standing in the middle of a busy city, calling all the people to rise up and take a stand. She is a reminder that in the end, we will all be judged for our actions and our life choices, but past mistakes will be forgiven when you choose to change and make a new start. Now, at a top level, this card urges you to make amends by transforming your life. Now, I say at a top level because it is, as you would expect, more complex than that, this energy. This Judgment energy brings a higher level of awareness that resurrects you into a new way of thinking, getting out of these thoughts, you see. You are being resurrected, if I can use that analogy and that metaphor, from the torture and crucifixion that you've gone through mentally. You then become resurrected. It is a spiritual rebirth, a spiritual awakening. Now, it represents a time now when life becomes fresh again. You go through that process of cleansing. Life becomes good, and the burdens or limitations from the past break away, opening up to the beauty of universal love and freedom. Now, I notice that the number here, these two X's, that's the Roman numerals, two X's is 20, and that is the number of awakening, knowledge, power, mastery, universal service, compassion, completion, and rebirth. Now, when this Judgment energy comes here, it really is the voice of the divine speaking to you. Listen closely to the message. A spiritual revelation or a eureka moment will be gifted to you. Old ideas or outworn beliefs are transforming into a higher awareness, taking you into a new direction. The path you once followed has dissolved and is dissolving into distant memories. Judgment reminds you, as we spoke about in connection with this card here, I think it was, that each of us takes different paths. The paths wind and intertwine through the landscape of life like a river flowing towards the sea of oneness. There are many lessons and detours as you navigate through life, aren't there? The judgment energy frees your mind and heart of false beliefs, bringing clarity and the realization of oneness of all. Now, judgment opens up the path of self-realization, I suppose, and self-love, where your consciousness is reborn into the universal mind of Source. The higher self is calling upon your ego to rise up and be renewed. With judgment energy, you achieve wisdom and the understanding that you are a spiritual being living in a physical body. Know yourself is the key to living a fulfilled life. Now you will view life from a greater perspective now with vast horizons. Your life work is to serve the highest good for all, as is all of our life work. Now the third eye, or sixth chakra, is associated with judgment, awakening your inner sight. Judgment is positive energy that brings completion, healing, and rebirth and renewal. Exhale, and then breathe in the love from the divine and the opportunities that now lie before you. We might have a look at that other major arcana that we spoke of before, and it is this lady. This is the Wheel of Fortune, of course. Isn't that an interesting depiction of that, if you're familiar with? Look, on this Wheel of Fortune card, a woman's dress reveals her internal apparatus consisting of a number of wheels all connected together. Each wheel is but a single cog in the larger machinery, isn't it? And their ability to operate depends on all the other parts working. Now, the woman has no power over the process, no control over the ups and downs of life. Now, the wheel at the top here, that holds her heart. Her happiness or sadness depends entirely on how her fate is turning. Now, this watch, you can see it here, which is in the woman's hand. I think that represents the eternal cycles of time we are all subject to. And the clouds which appear in the sky behind her, they show that life is forever changing. Because the Wheel of Fortune represents the ever-changing cycle in your life. Your life is in constant motion, revolving around the ups and downs that life hands you. No moment ever stays the same. Just as you are getting comfortable, the wheel turns and you are moving towards another situation, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. At times you may think that the wheel is stuck because the bad luck trash has been visiting way too long. But you have to remember, the Wheel of Fortune is also the karmic wheel of fate. So, on the many multi-levels of lifetimes, you may be paying a bigger bill this time round than another, and eventually the wheel does shift. Sometimes you just don't recognize it because you are so wound up in what you think should happen. The Wheel of Fortune really is the game of life. There are no guarantees. How you play out your fate is up to you. The lessons you learn from your experiences, your mistakes, failures, misfortunes, as well as your victories in life, they are all gifts you take on your spiritual journey. The Wheel of Fortune's number down here is 10, and that is the number of completion and rebirth into a new cycle. It symbolizes the doorway to a new journey. You know, you may not be in control of the circumstances, but you can be in control of how you deal with them. And the Wheel of Fortune is the ever-turning cycle of life, death, and rebirth. And that number 10 represents the end or completion of something for you now, as well as the beginning of something new and prosperous. In many respects, if miracles are not happening in your life now, then something is wrong. And it represents unexpected encounters and twists of fate. You never know what is around the next corner. Now, this Wheel of Fortune brings gifts of movement, change, good fortune, success, and coming into your destiny. Now, I think that there probably is... Are there two more to do? No, there's one more. Here it is. Oh, this makes sense, of course, after that last card. And you can see the progression that's going through here. Let me have a look at this. This is throwing up a lot of energy and thoughts to me, even as we speak. This is the Seven of Pentacles. Well, in this painting, we see a woman sitting on top of a tree. She has been busy harvesting fruit from the tree, and she's now resting from the hard work. Now, on her lap, she holds a sliced apple with, if I'm not mistaken, yes, 7 for the Seven of Pentacles, 7 apple seeds. Now, I think those seeds symbolize the investment she has made over the years and the potential profit that could come out of it. It was hard work, and she looks forward to enjoying the results. But first, she must take the time to assess the results and plan the next stage. Now, when the Seven of Pentacles enters in the position that it has done and below Judgment and on a diagonal opposite the Wheel of Fortune, it says that a goal is going to be reached. A goal is going to be reached. A job is going to be completed, or a journey may well be made. Now, your hard work will pay off and your harvest will be bountiful. This energy brings completion and time to pause and reflect on the process it took to achieve your goal. The horizon is open for new dreams and desires to manifest. You are deciding your next move, I think. Something in your heart stirs, and you know there is more to your path than material gain. Your soul hears a higher calling. Now, the key to the Seven of Pentacles is to continue the cycle of abundance by expanding it out into the world community. The gift of this card is connecting with the work that brings you true fulfillment emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. This energy symbolizes success and material rewards, though. But it also represents following what the Hindus refer to as your dharma, that is your life's purpose, following that in your work and in your life. Now, this card brings you to the crossroads of following the path of material achievement or the path to serve the greater whole. You begin to look at the spiritual responsibility and connection of your personal evolution with the collective, bringing a desire, I think, to redesign your outlooks, goals, and motivations, at least at the edges, you know. Not saying don a hair shirt and a pair of sandals and then walk off into the wilderness. But the Seven of Pentacles represents an opportunity also to discover new talents, expanding them into innovative ideas and creations that will benefit not only you, but obviously have an impact on people around you. Now, some will have plenty of success and material possessions, desiring to acquire more, but the cup never seems full and their quest for material attainment keeps growing. Now, others will have made successful material accomplishments and gain a higher sense of purpose, resulting in a desire to seek deeper understanding of spiritual services to the world community. The desire becomes, I think, something of a heartfelt venture that brings fulfillment to you on a spiritual level, a different accomplishment than material gain. But the lesson of the Seven of Pentacles here is to understand the balance of spiritual and material values and living it in your daily life of work and play. This sacred balance brings abundance spiritually and materially. Now, this is a card of spiritual transformation in this position that raises your awareness to the bigger spectrum of creation and also of manifestation. Well, what a really, really fascinating and uplifting set of cards for you. Well done. That is the way it is for you this month. Fantastic, and I really enjoyed the artwork on these cards, I really must say. Now, if you want to look at more of the artwork, of course, just jump through to your rising sign or to your moon sign, and you'll see a spread of the different pieces of artwork and the different other signs as well. That's a thing that you can do that's there. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I love seeing you. Great to see you. And I hope you enjoyed, well, I know you would have enjoyed that as much as I did providing it to you. Now, remember one thing, of course, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.